Welcome back to Captain of Industry, where our small settlement has grown. We have a bit more population than before, and most importantly, in the last episode we unlocked the belts and therefore we started proper factories. By proper factories I mean things that work without trucks. You may have some trucks bringing, an input at the start, but then everything else is automated. For example, here we're taking the crude oil and we have, this wood, which is the only thing that needs to come at this point from a truck. This wood is transformed here into coal, right? And then the coal and the crude oil makes some diesel plus a couple of things, and the diesel goes over here. Speaking of diesel, we did unlock also in the last episode the fuel station. So we're gonna build one and we're actually going to place it over here. I probably need to connect it a bit better. Let me see. Let's give just one space so it's easier to connect. Okay, so connect it to diesel. And the thing with this is we're gonna be able to assign some trucks. Let's assign, for example, 2 trucks. Now these trucks, they're gonna get full of diesel and then they're going to go across the map to refuel other things. For example, refuel the excavators or refuel the tree harvester so that they don't have to come all the way, to a source of diesel. The diesel will come to them. So that is quite an important thing. Then we also, started our actual production on this side for the copper, for the iron, first on this side, and then copper on that side. A bit low on copper right now because we just really started, but hopefully soon we will be able to have a bit more. So here it is, I'm putting a second excavator, and yeah, that excavator probably went somewhere far to get some to get some diesel. So that's exactly what we're trying to solve. But yeah, we have the copper on that side, which is again a similar thing, copper and coal. Then we have the caster here, but then we have also the electrolysis to transform the impure copper into actual copper. So that is the second big production we really started, and that enables us also to automate or pretty much automate the maintenance. We have only one right now, but this will enable us to have at least a 3 if we want to. Speaking of which, why is that? No, that's fine, 96%, all good. So yeah, with this, we have finished the copper production over here, and finishing that one, we've also unlocked actually quite a few others, some of which we had already done. For example, the improved slag export, right? It was built, a loose storage and connected. We've done this in particular for the slag, so all good there. Similarly, set up some conveyor belts, we've done that, so we're getting great bonuses of tier 2 parts here, I love it. And then last but not least, making actual construction part 2, we've done that too. We have now the fuel station, okay, so we're doing that one, that's fine. Then we have the coal mine, we're gonna need to start digging coal. I'm not gonna start it right away because there's still quite a few trees here for us to cut, but that's gonna be important for sure. I see we also again went to battle, so soon it'll be great to fix that. Why is there no fuel? Because we didn't build that. My bad. So it is. Now the fuel will come through, and therefore, by the way, the pipe will change color slowly but surely. That is really great. Here it is. And so now we actually have some diesel coming in, and therefore my pickup, right, is going to refuel this tree harvester first. So that's great. This is done. Here, water. So we are digging water from the ground, right, with this groundwater pump, but you can, and that's, used right now mainly for the electrolysis. That could also be used, of course, for the farms. We're gonna do that very soon, but that can also be used for your people. So we have over here something new, the water facility. The only thing is that the water facility will not just want water, it will also create a problem with the waste. So I'm thinking, give me a second. I think we're gonna put it on this side here. So the wastewater, right? This is just going to go up 3, level 3, and it needs to go here because this is already wastewater anyway, so that's fine. That's fine. And then there we need water. I think it would be good to have also a small fluid storage for the buffer, given in particular that this is not going to be fully automated. We're going to need a truck to come bring the water for now. So let's go say this is water like this. And yeah, I guess now we can unpause with P those things. I would love to really get this automated though as soon as possible. It's not that far. It's not that far. So maybe we do it. Maybe we do it. Let's put it on the side there. And then, you know, maybe we'll have one of these ramp for the vehicles to go across, like over here. And then maybe a second one somewhere over there. Trying to align it perfectly. That way we can keep the pipe on the floor. We don't have to put it high up. And my... I didn't align it properly. That's okay. My trucks will still be able to go across once we build the whole thing. Okay, so they're sending a lot of water to get this started, which is not a problem per se. Actually, let's go there on the there. Okay, and done. Good. So let's use Unity to build those two quickly, so that my trucks can still go across, and then unpause this whole thing. Okay, this way we won't need trucks anymore. It will just get full on its own. So yes, you can see that my people right now, they want around 15 of water per minute just to drink, right? And this is going to create around 13 of wastewater that's going into this pipe all the way there. Now we may have at some point to put a second one. I mean, let's do it right away before we have the problem. But actually, no. I mean, we only have a pipe level 1 right now, so it won't change anything. Because this is limited to 60, right? So what I'm saying is at some point 60 won't be enough, especially when you join like 4 here, plus 15, plus 15. And if I build this one 15 again, right, plus this 13. But for now, our pipe is anyway also doing 60. So that's fine. That's fine. Okay. So yeah, now you may be wondering, why did we do that? What's good about giving water to my people? This is good because it gives me some unity and actually also some health if they haven't changed. So if we look at our unity over here, we are getting 1 unity thanks to water. On top of this, we're also getting 10 health points thanks to this. So that is great because my pollution was slowly but surely increasing, and you want to make sure that your health stays in positive, of course. So yeah, we're gonna try to give more and more things to our people to make sure they stay happy. So let's finish that one. We have also, by the way, over here, housing level 2. Instead of having, I think it's 60, right? 80, sorry. Instead of having 80 people into 1 quarter, with housing level 2, we can have 140. On top of this, we would gain better, like it increases the consumption, but you get more unity, more bonuses. So that is great. That is great. We've done quite a few other things, by the way, including advanced logistics here. So our max number of vehicles has increased from 80 to 110. That is great. We've also unlocked here the advanced concrete and a lot of farming at the bottom. So we are going to start with this farming. Again, you may remember that the water is over here, right? We have a lot of water there. So we're going to put now my new farms, irrigated farms, over here. We're going to actually start by placing the farms always in planning mode. And no, this is not the right one. I want the level 2 is here, irrigated farm. So that you can see there is at the bottom a couple of inputs, 2 to be precise. One is water and one is fertilizer. We're gonna want to play with these 2. We're going to place it, I think, somewhere here, but we're going to rotate. Actually, it doesn't really matter that much at this point. It's not like we have a huge complex, but yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna put 2 farms. They're gonna be irrigated, and we're also going to change the schedule. Instead of just doing potatoes and nothing else, we're going to switch things up, right? So you can, for example, leave it completely empty, or you can do this one, which is you're gonna put water and green manure to increase your fertility. Or if you want, what you could do also is to put vegetables. And the reason you want to do this is that having different types of, like in real life, by the way, having different types of things growing on the field will be better for fertility. So if we look, for example, over here, one potato only is 9.2, right? So if I have now potato and vegetables, obviously my potato will decrease, but it doesn't decrease by that much. It decreases to 5.4. And then we have 5.6 here, right? So if I do that on both, right, I'm going to be higher than 9.2 now. I'm at 10.8. Plus, I'm also getting quite a bit of vegetables, right? So that's what we're gonna do at the beginning. I have one of each. I don't know if we're going to build it at this point. I think we're not gonna build it. We're just going to keep it for trucks. It's really not that far. But what we may do is put the food close by. I think that works. At least that used to work. Let's check. No, wait. There's not a lot of space for... I would have loved a bit more space for some reserves here. So let's see how does that work. If I put one here and one there. Now there's still actually some space for the trucks. So we're gonna do that. This one basically is going to be vegetables, right? And this one here is going to be potatoes. Perfect. Okay. And then last but not least, of course, we're gonna need water. The consumption of water, you can see that this one, yes, 34 is the demand on average. Depends, of course, on the rain and things like this. So we're talking about 60. This is only 48. We're gonna need 2 of these, or 1 for each, you know, like if you want to be like not have a lot of pipes, for now you can do something like this. Of course, in the future, we'll probably want to be a lot more kind of smarter, but that's fine. That's fine. So these irrigated farms, right, they're going to take construction part level 2 to build. They also take more people, right? This is 10 versus this was 8. And you have also a bit of maintenance, but obviously the increase is pretty big in terms of, first, you can be assured that there is always water, and second, it's a higher throughput. But it's not guaranteed, to be honest, not always the case. Now, in the meantime, we have a 0 free housing, so it's actually probably a good idea to build another one. And we have also built over here our captain's office. Our captain's office is where you're going to put your edicts, your population and industrial edicts. Some of them are going to reduce your consumption, for example, of food or of diesel in industrial. But when you do this, it's going to consume some unity. Some of them are going to do the opposite. For example, here, plenty of food. This is going to increase the production of or the consumption of food, but it's going to give you unity. All right. So this one costs unity, this one gives you unity. Same here. You're gonna see, no, all of these, they cost unity. You have also usually different levels that are going to cost more and give you more bonuses. Now we have one mission, which is Vehicle Savers, level 1, which will basically be reducing my consumption of fuel by 15% in exchange for 1 unity. So that can definitely be good towards the end especially, but for now we can keep it. Food consumption, we could do that in the future. So we're gonna keep that going. We have free housing, so let's unpause that one. We're going to say that this is a priority because right now we have minus 15. Why do we have that? Because I just built those 2 farms and they take people. As you can see, there is water irrigation, animation happening, and yeah, we're gonna start producing some potatoes first, later some vegetables. If you want, by the way, one thing you may want to do too is to say this one will do first potatoes, then vegetables, and this one could do first vegetable, then crops. That way you can smooth your production potentially. Okay, so let's unlock those 2, and then I think we can already delete this one, and we can delete that one later on when this is working. Okay, what else? And this waste collection, we probably want to move also over here. There's no reason to have it there. Actually, I don't remember why I put it there. What else? Next, we're gonna be about research, but maybe let's, as I said before, this is 1 unity, all right? So let's upgrade it to the next. Oh no, we are low on the construction parts level 2. But the production is still going, right? It's still going, it's just, it is very slow. We're talking about only 3. We may want to automate this soon-ish. Soon-ish. Good thing is this is looking great. We have some copper, we have some iron. I mean, I have started to put alerts everywhere, so hopefully we should know when there is a problem. We don't really have a lot more research that can be done. We've done all of this research here. The next one we have to do, and it's a prerequisite for all the other ones, is the research lab level 1. So let's do it for sure, but I don't think we're gonna build it right away. We're gonna take a bit of time. Okay, so this has been built, perfect. So let's delete that. And is this working? I mean, we don't have yet the resources, so that's the problem. We're gonna say make it full and definitely tell me if this thing is below 50%. And same here, tell me if it's below 50% and get it from the farm, right? Is there any... Oh, I think they just took some here. We have just a bit 40. Okay. So we delete this. I think we can delete that farm already, and we're just gonna give it a second before deleting the food market, because the worst thing that can happen is having no food in your city. Workers will get there soon, especially as I'm sure we're gonna get 18 refugees very soon, so that's fine. I'm not worried about that one. Where's the other one? Oh yeah, here. That's fine. It's nothing. Okay, lab we're gonna do. The coal mine, I think we can wait a bit more because again, I'm trying to just take out all of those trees. Even these ones, they're in the way of my coal mine. And here, this was in the way of expanding the factory. So definitely want to take all of these out. A few minutes later, and it is, we have a level 2 housing. It definitely looks more comfortable. It is not yet a palace, but at least it has some actual walls. So yeah, as I said before, all right, we move from 80 of population to 140, but more importantly, we can get this unity bonus over here, a plus 50% bonus, but for that, you need to have both water and electricity, right now we unfortunately only have water. Electricity will require research that is a bit further. Here it is, settlement power, which requires the research lab level 1. We don't have that yet. But before we do that too, I think I have another goal. You may remember in the last episode I said we were not making enough of this concrete slab because this was only making 12 and we were using something like 24 because each of these is using 6. The good thing is we've also unlocked a new way to make this concrete, the advanced concrete over there. There's quite a few recipes, as you can see, 4 different ways to make it, but it's 4 times more efficient in terms of the consumption of limestone, so we should definitely go there. And I have actually blueprinted or created a nice small layout. I mean, it may seem a bit big, and it is also because I've put a lot of storages, intermediary storages if you wish. So let me explain. As I said, there is a lot of recipes. There is 4 different recipes. You will always need cement. It's always the same amount. You will always need water. It's always the same amount. What is different is those 2 things in the middle, where you have, in essence, for each 2 choices. For the first one, it's either normal sand or manufactured sand. And for the second, it's either gravel or it is slag crushed. So let's talk first about the sand. You have actual sand. This is over here, for example, right? This is sand on the beach. There are some maps where there's tons. This map doesn't seem to have that much close by. I mean, there is a bit more over here. Okay, so there's quite a bit of sand, but as you can see, it's not that close apart from that one. And also, as the name of sand suggests, it's always near the water, which makes it slightly complex to dig, because if you dig, very soon you'll have water that starts coming out. So you do have to be quite careful while digging the sand, which is why some people, including myself, prefer the second option, the manufactured sand. This is using gravel in a crusher, that's a new building, to transform right into this manufactured sand. The other reason why I like it is it makes it a bit more of a control process. Instead of being linked to how quickly can I get sand, it's just this is my production and I know I'm producing 8 as long as I have enough gravel. And then for the second, we said we have either the slag crushed or the gravel. And remember, the gravel is what I mentioned just before here. So it is also a bit linked, and another good reason potentially to use the manufactured sand, because anyway, you're gonna make gravel potentially over here. So the gravel is again in the crusher of the rock. You're putting rocks and you're crushing it. The slag crushed is crushing again in the crusher, but of the slag. So slag, you remember we're producing this here, right? In this production here, we're producing some slag. Same for this one there. So we are going to produce some slag, right? But that's usually not gonna be enough. So we will have to also use rocks. And rocks, I mean, it's basically this, right? This is rocks and dirt. So what I've done over here is I've done something that can use both. These are the 2 inputs, slags and rock. They're going to go here into this U-shaped balancer. So this U-shaped balancer is like a merger, and a splitter. If you play Satisfactory, this can do both, merge and split, and it can do this with priority. So in this case over here, we have 2 inputs, right? This belt over here and that belt there, they are inputs. And we have 1 output. But if you want, you could have, 2 outputs. You could have 3 outputs and 1 input. You can do it however you want, knowing you have kind of 8 points, right? And then you choose which one is priority. You don't have to, by the way, you can have both of them like this. And if that's the case, basically, this is gonna be 50%, 50%, right? Now, in this case, I want to say priority for that one. Why? Because this is my slag. I am producing slag, so instead of, having to dig more rock, let's just use the slag we have. But if I'm empty, then we can start using the rock, right? So that's what goes here into this belt, and it will go into this crusher, doing again, if possible, first this first one, and if not possible, this second one. Let me actually pause the time right now. So yes, we're gonna create slag crush and gravel. Then if we go over here, we have something else. We have a U-shaped sorter. Now this is not a splitter, this is a sorter. So what it means is you can have multiple things coming, and in this case we have two. We have the slag crush and the gravel, and we want to separate them. In this case, I want to separate the slag to go this side. So the slag will go into this loot storage here, while the gravel will go here in front. And so this is an example where we have only one input but two outputs. And in this case, I'm going to say priority is on this side, because I want, remember, to make sure we create a bit of gravel to make some manufactured sand. So there is, in this case, one scenario where this thing could sort of break, where I would have way too much slag crushed that would, make this whole thing full, and I would never get any gravel. But I think it's not gonna happen, because again, the slag, it's a byproduct, right? We're not getting that much. And this is also why I want to make sure we have some warnings over here, so that it hopefully doesn't happen. But yeah, we have, again, the slag crush that goes this side, the gravel that goes to make some sand. We have a storage of sand here and a storage of gravel. Then the gravel is at level 2 here, while the sand, manufactured sand, is at level 1. And then they're going to go into these concrete mixers, right? We're going to take this manufactured sand and this slag crush. We're also going to take the cement, I'll show you in a second, and a bit of water, which is here in the middle. And then the output is the concrete slab that are coming out. The reason I put 4 is because this is 12, so 24, 48 in total, right? If I start putting more, soon we will be at the max for my conveyor belt. And then it goes here. In terms of the cement, this is made in a rotary kiln. In the future, we'll have many other recipes, but for now we only have one. Just taking limestone and coal to make this cement and to make exhaust. This is making 3. So this can support 2 of these concrete mixer, and that's why I have 2 of these for 4 here. What I've done there is that both of those things, they will go into this unit storage, so that creates a bit of a buffer if you wish. This also enables me, by the way, to use or deliver the ones we have there. So it will go into that intermediary storage there, right? And what's gonna happen is then it's going to go into the system at level 0, right? This is the belt here in the middle. It also has one belt there that sort of sends it back. So that way, we can say whatever we have created, right? We can make this full, and then we can send it always back into the system. Last but not least, we need water, which, by the way, is why I have put this whole thing there. That way we can take the water from here, send it directly there. We will also be able to get, the limestone just from the mine here, and the coal, we have some good reserves of coal there. So that's why, again, I've put it over here. Now, building, this whole thing is definitely going to cost a lot. As you can see, 500 gold parts. So we're not going to build the whole thing, but we will get started with a couple. I hope I didn't make a mistake. We'll discover it together. Don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below if you have any questions. And yeah, that's going to enable us to make a lot more of concrete slabs, and therefore then we can automate this next, right? My production of that. Okay, let's go. A bit of time has passed, but it is now working. I haven't built everything, as I said, but we have basically sort of half of it built. We have, if you wish, 2 of those concrete mixers with 1 rotary kiln that are working. And so with this, yeah, we've started to build quite a lot, as you can see, of these concrete slab. I did delete also the old one there. We only have now the limestone. All right, but yeah, this is working We have some loose storage for slag, rocks, right? And we're transforming this into gravel. Gravel goes into sand, starting to make some sand. We have also some reserves of gravel. Goes over here, goes into this with some water and some cement. Cement comes from the other side, right? That's using the coal and the limestone. So all great there. And so with this, we have really kind of a stable, and if we want to, also a boosted production of concrete slab. So we're gonna be able to make an automated production of a concrete part, right? Taking those slabs, the iron that we already automated over here, and then wood. That's the only thing not automated, right? So that's what you can see over here. We're gonna have the slab, the wood, and as I said, the iron comes from here. One is at level 0, level 1, level 2, with those elevators, nothing really complex. And it's gonna go into the storage here to combine with some electronics to make construction part level 2. For now, I have used, assembly level 1 because they cost only construction parts, not the gold ones. In the future, we can obviously upgrade all of this. So yeah, I'm gonna unpause it all. It's going to cost a bit of construction part level 2 for the belts, but everything else should be done very quickly with those reserves here, right? And so then we'll be able to just delete that whole thing there that wasn't really efficient. We have also, by the way, basically emptied the ship and the shipyard. So I was really happy with that. But yeah, we're gonna soon empty this whole thing over here. Or delete it, sorry, my bad. It is. Let's see it work in a sec. One other thing is I'm gonna build another farm. This time just focus on vegetable, because this is the one where, it is increasing. I'm not worried. You can see it is slowly but surely increasing. We have more than 300 now, but it's been quite a bit of time and this is still not full. So I just want to build that, be done with it. And in the future, it's not like we won't use that farm for something else anyway. So yeah, with all of those construction, obviously, we have a couple of things going in the red, but should be fine. It should go back up very soon. I'll see you in a sec when this is built. And it is, ladies and gents, it may not seem like crazy impressive, but I think it is. We have over here 4 assemblies that are making construction part level 1 and 2 assemblies making construction part level 2. Because remember, each of these is taking one of these. So you want to have for sure more of level 1 than of level 2. And yeah, some storage in the middle, and we're starting to make more reserves over here. We have a new farm for vegetables over here. So actually the vegetable storage is slowly but surely increasing. We're gonna get above the 50% just now. Perfect. Perfect. So yeah, we have automated over here the construction slab. We are making, a hole in the mountain there, which by the way, could help also start reaching another deposit in the back there. I am dropping into the ocean more and more of these rocks and also some of my waste, because if you look over here, the bridge or the ramp has been done. It's clean, and therefore we've also started to cut some of the wood over here. I think soon we could also consider expanding a ramp over here to go down and another one to go up here. But this is pretty far, like we have a bit of time I think before we get there. And we have a big problem. Yes, we do. I mean, this game is all about problems. You're always gonna have a problem. When you feel like you've done something, they throw something else. Which is our oil. We're already at 58%. This is going down fast. In particular as we're consuming more and more for electricity. So we're gonna need to get more oil, because when this is empty, we're done, right? There was a huge oil deposit over there, but obviously this is way too far. We're not gonna get there anytime soon. Another one there, but that requires a bridge. It's gonna be terrible. We do have a one there, so we can access, right? This is just the same place we were already at the beginning, so you can access that from the start. Unfortunately, this is not a big one. This is only 28. So it would definitely, you know, help, and we can consider using it, but that's not gonna be enough. And if you look over here, there is none anywhere close. I don't even know where the next one is. Yeah, it's all the way here, so super far, not even sure if it's big. So it's gonna be time to find a new way. If you know how, don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below. But otherwise, stay tuned for the next episode, hopefully tomorrow, where I'll show you how we're gonna solve this problem. Thank you for watching, smash like button, I hope to see you next time.